Hey folks, it's Brian. We got to play Elderath tonight. Schedule got a little jambled up as the GM had what's that? had a conflict for our normal game time, so we were able to adjust things. But because of the adjustment, we had to start later, so it wasn't quite as long. So if I had a live play, which I don't, it would only have been like 4 almost 4 hours instead of the like 6 that we normally do, right? um, but my new laptop, um, I slipped and landed into it and it broke the hinge. So it's at the shop, see if they can't maybe fix it. And those hinges are so freaking tight that it's just insane. So if they can't do anything, I'll just leave it open forever instead of closing it and make it useful. So I'm using my 2007 master's degree laptop, which has very little processing power compared to modern stuff. So I did try to use my screen capture to capture the live play, but everything was crawling. And even after I shut that stuff off, I had issues with um, Google transitioning between pages or tabs. Um, and with Owlbear, I had to drop out like 2 or 3 different times and then come back on, doing a refresh kind of deal, where it would just freeze up or yeah, tech issues, right? First world issues. But anyway, so this whole session tonight was, well, 2 combats. So last time we had left the party setting up for guards coming, and they came, right? So Wes is back out of the way, Raymond and Alexander up front. Lots of melee, lots of melee, lots of melee. Wes does a hold kind on the knoll in front of Raymond to help protect him, and was successful. So we've got a power gain check out of that. Yay! And so he starts throwing sleep. He threw a sleep. That put down 3 of the gnolls, and everybody gangs up on the last gnoll after going through and killing all the sleeping ones, of which there was a discussion towards the end of the session about, is it morally right for us to be killing these gnolls in their sleep? Shouldn't we just kill them with the chance to defend themselves? Or is it actually better because they're asleep and not feeling it? Yeah, that kind of stuff. Um, but Wes does throw some shock bolts, and they're only a D4, so he's got to overcharge them. So he's throwing 4-point um, shock bolts. Got a hit, second one missed. Raymond took 7 points of leg and he goes down, but he then heals it, right? Then attacks and hit the gnoll in the head, but only did 6 points of damage. Didn't penetrate the armor. Uh, Alexander did hit that gnoll again. Wes did another 4-point shock pull, which finally put it down. But see, that's 8 magic points. Plus 2 if you count the sleep, right? I think the sleep was a 2-point spell. It might have been just one. Sucking magic points up. Anyway, they pillage the bodies. Wes casts the light, and so he's keeping watch on the 2 entrances, the 2 hallways. While that's going on, we find some coin. Runthin grabs a torch, and he checks around the corner to the west, going north. And after he goes, Wes comes up with a flashlight, and then Alexander comes out with his bow. Nothing. So we go down the hallway, and the hallway continues on, but there's a side passage to the east. So we go to the side passage to the east, and then it splits. One going northeast, one going southeast. We go southeast, and at this point, Alexander's watching the back end of stuff. Make sure nobody's sneaking up on us. The southwest hallway ends at a door. So Runt tries to check for traps and pick the lock, but he is trying to hide the fact that he's got thieves' tools to actually pick the lock, kind of thing, because he's trying to be a good boy. But he picks the lock, and the door rolls open, and there's a gnoll, and behind him are 2 with crossbows. Combat ensues, and this got really, really nasty because Runt can tell there are people to the north and to the south. Plus, there's a gnoll right in front and two crossbow guys behind him. And he gets hit twice with the crossbow bolts and goes down. Raymond grabs him, pulls him back, does the heal. Alexander goes forward to take a spot and start doing attacking. Alexander gets hit with a leg, taking his leg all the way to -4. Puts him down to just 4 hit points total. So Wes grabs him and pulls him back. Raymond goes to do a heal on him. Gnolls get their free attack, but Alexander's able to parry and stuff. But then one of the gnolls comes forward. And at that point, Wes just starts casting sleep spells. And there's some discussion about how sleep works. Because we did a sleep 5 earlier, and I put 3 of the guys down. And here I did a sleep 10, and only 2 went down. And I remember the target number previously being 75%, and here's like 45%. So it got kind of confusing. So there's some discussion back and forth between me and the GM and a couple other players, because the GM wants to simulate, the sleep spell from D&D where, you got 3 hit die worth of hit points you can take out. So it can be pretty powerful on low-level creatures, but it's not going to do anything to a high-level creature. But then Rollmaster's spell law, Sleep 10, which is only a 6th level spell, is designed to take down a 10th level character. And so there's that interpretation versus his expectation versus what we've experienced already. We've been massaging this thing, trying to figure out how to do this best. And he took a whole bunch of comments from Steve Perrin and somebody else, and something like there's a all the world's creatures bestiary kind of thing on transitioning D&D characters to Runequest and how things work. And in Runequest, it's power versus power stuff, and in spell law, it's character level versus character level stuff, and in D&D, it's hit die versus hit point stuff. So it's kind of funky. In fact, that was brought up this time that in D&D, the sleep spell affects hit points worth of creatures. Okay, maybe that's how we should be treating this thing. Is not worry about power, but go get their hit points. It's an idea, I thought. But anyway, but after our discussion, it kind of came down to the power level of sleep spells. All of them is 12. That's their power level, right? And then for every point of power the creature has over 12, takes a level of the spell to use. So essentially, if a creature has 12 or higher power, I've got a 50-50 chance of knocking them down. It just sucks up more levels of the spell that are available for as I sequence my targets. If they're less than 12, we can get more or the percentage to put them under goes up. So power level 50% chance. If they're low, I can go to up to 60 or whatever it is, right? The difference from 12 gives me 5% difference bonus kind of thing. So once it was explained to me that way, okay, I'll take that. And then the sleep 5 can hit up to 5 targets. Sleep 7 hit up to 7. Sleep 10 can hit up to 10. But again, it's that power of 12 equivalents that goes around. So that actually took quite a bit of time just discussing through that. But once my understanding, my expectation was higher than my understanding, and once that we got leveled out on 50-50 with a 12, or higher, but it's going to take more levels of the spell. Okay, that's what the rule is. I can go with that. And so with this group we've got now, there's 8 gnolls in here. And Wes must have he's cast Sleep 10 the first time, and then Sleep 7 twice, and then Sleep 5 like twice. Admit, a Sleep 7 and a Sleep 5 are both just 1 magic point. Sleep 10 is only 2 magic points. Sleep 10 is a 6th level spell. How powerful should it be is what it comes down to, right? So Wes is just throwing sleep spells left and right, trying onesie twosies, onesie twosies, onesie twosies coming down. He did initially throw out a sudden light to do the, the flashbang kind of thing, but only two were in the. Well, there's a possible third, but he made his luck roll, so he wasn't in the danger zone. So two of them got hit with the stun, one for 1 round, the other for 2. Not quite as effective. But again, these are gnolls, not goblins, so it's making more and more sense to me now. Let's see, where are we? Okay, so between throwing all these sleep spells and Alexander going in, a Runt going in, and Raymond going in and attacking the ones that are still up or taking out the ones that are down. In fact, Wes did that too. He killed, I think it's just one. That were asleep, right? Um, and combat going on. They managed to whittle him down. Number 1, which was the boss guy, which did go down with a second sleep spell, thank goodness, because there was something about his mace. He wakes up. He escapes through a secret door. Runt and Wes are on that side of the room, so they go try to figure out. They spend around looking, and that's not enough time to find a secret door. But at that point, Knoll number 2, which had first been stunned and then was asleep, finally woke up and crawled out from a massive combat and got up. And so our scan rolls, hey, there's somebody back there. Let's go and attack. So we go and we attack. He flees, so we get a free attack. And Wes got a special attack. Impale, got him in the back. 14 points of damage. So they've got 6 points of armor on. But still, it's what, 8 points into his chest? Down he went. So I'm not worried about pulling it out. I just stepped on the body and pulled the sword out. And then 8 kind of sees that he's all by himself, so he does a flee as well. But he's running by Alexander and Raymond and Wes. Alexander and Raymond hit him. I don't think Raymond did any damage. And I think Alexander only did a little bit. Some really poor rolling going on. But Wes, because of a bonus, got another special. Impaled him in the back. Oh, he actually got him in the leg. Impaled him in the leg, but did enough damage to put him down to 0. So steps on his leg, pulls his sword out. Don't have to worry about rolling because your impaled weapon gets stuck. Which, I can almost kind of see. Especially with something like a spear, which has got some breadth to it. But a dagger, a rapier, those are designed to go in and come back out. So I've got my own house rules, which increase the chance of actually not having it get stuck. Plus, we've already got rules on, if it does get stuck, it doesn't just get ripped out of your hand, right? There's a strength versus size kind of roll thing if the person's moving in that kind of crud. Plus, if you're moving with something impaled, you're going to take extra damage. Just saying. So that happens. Search the room. We actually eventually find the secret door. It's empty. So we shut it. Stick it shut, and we start looking at how many magic points we have left, because Wes has gone through his star crystal matrix, which has a lot of magic points. It's got like 25 magic points worth in it, and it's empty? No, it's not empty, but it's down low. And the wand, which has 10, it only has 1 left. So it was down 13 points. I was halfway. It was halfway, so I could do one more battle like this, but that would be it completely, right? So we decided, okay, let's stay here, we'll rest. How much time do you need to recover, Wes, to recover your magic points? Go, well, if I sleep, that's 8 hours. I get 8 times 5.6333 back. So he puts 13 into the matrix, Starfire Crystal, which brings it back up to full, and then, sleeps to recover 5, and then rests with the power meditation skill for another 4 hours, which gets him, I don't remember, I don't have it up anymore, like 4 more back kind of thing. So he's down 5 magic points. The wand only has 1 left, but the star crystals, at max, which is 25 points. That's a lot of stuff, but that's because of those 4-point freaking shock bolts. Yeah. Uh, I kind of want to look through the damage that shock bolts, and for that matter, the shock um, criticals from the stunning cloud do, to say, hey, GM, maybe it should be something more like this, because that's what the spell's supposed to be doing. Um, but we'll see. I'll give him my recommendations. That's all I can do, really. But we're going to be here for 12 hours now, and so that's a long time to be in the dungeon someplace. But no encounters. We do get this acrid smell coming out from underneath the secret door, and that's where we stopped. We were well past midnight, but it's Friday night, and I'm still up and going. So, but at this point, it was kind of, this is a good stopping point. Let's just stop here. And one of our players wasn't able to make it because of some work commitments. I had just gotten home from work and wasn't ready to come and start playing. So we just, okay, let's go ahead and cut it here. We'll start up in a couple of weeks to play our next session. Happy gaming.